What's going on YouTube? This is Thomas from Everything Electric, and this is a teardown video of the Samsung C3590 flip phone. This teardown is going to be started with taking the back cover off the phone and removing the battery. This can normally be done with your fingernails, but I'm going to have to use guitar picks as I have none. After this is done, the phone can be flipped over and we can start taking the back housing of the screen off. Next, you will have to take off a flap where my screwdriver currently is, and this will give you access to the screws to take off the rear panel. You can now take a small Phillips head screwdriver and remove the screws. You can now take a flathead screwdriver, a guitar pick, or anything else you have lying around and prise off the back plate. The next job is to disconnect the screen from the motherboard. To do this, you can flip up the small yellow rectangular connector. After this, you will have to disconnect the front speaker and a sensor from the phone. To do this, you will need to flip up the little black plastic lever and pull out the ribbon cable. Once this is done, the ribbon cable can be separated from the back of the screen and the speaker and sensor can be pulled off. I'm not actually quite sure what the circular sensor is, so if there's anyone watching this video who would like to comment and tell me what it is, that would be greatly appreciated. And with that, this section of the phone is done. The screen and the motherboard can also be taken out if you need to. The phone can now be flipped over and you can remove the 5 small screws on the back of the phone as shown in the video. Once these screws are removed, the back housing can be taken off the phone using a guitar pick, a screwdriver, or anything else that you may have. Once the plastic housing is off, you'll have to disconnect the bottom motherboard from the motherboard on the top part of the phone by removing the little green rectangle with your guitar pick. And now the motherboards can be taken off. To do this, you will have to grab your guitar pick or anything else that you have, but not the screwdriver because that is metal, and unclip the motherboard at all corners. Once this is out, your disassembly of the phone is nearly completed. The rubber membrane that has the numbers and buttons on the front of it can also be pushed out if you need. If you have made it this far in the video, then don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you get notified of any future uploads. The phone can now be put back together. To do this, you will first have to grab the motherboard and clip it back into where it was before you took it out. Once the motherboard is back in, the green rectangular connector can be connected back to the motherboard. The housing from the back of the phone can now be clipped back into place where it was before. Once this is done, the 5 screws can be inserted back into the phone. You will now have to push back the front earpiece and the small circular sensor back to where they were before. The ribbon cable can be inserted back into the phone, and when it is in the correct spot, you can flip the black lever back down. You can then push the rectangular yellow connector back into place. Now the shelf, the back of the phone is ready to go back on. To do this, you will need to get it, line it up correctly with the camera module and push it back into place till it clicks. Try to avoid adding too much pressure to the screen or its edges to avoid any chance of breaking it. The 2 screws can now be inserted back into the front of the phone. The small covers can now be stuck back on top of the screws. When that is done, the battery is ready to be inserted into the back of the phone. Once you have done this, clip the back shell back on and your reassembly is finished. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.